Start कर देते हैं.
Hello. Yeah, so I guess we are live now. And yeah, it's a bit late in the night, but so tomorrow is the important second test starting at Edgbaston. So I mean, fresh test. England just crushed India in that first innings of the in the final innings of the first test, and there were a lot of talks on what should be India's combination going forward, uh, specifically in the bowling, and with the primary talk being around India's pace period, Jasprit Bumrah, will he be available or not? And then, if he's available, then what combination? If he's not available, then what combination? Whether two spinners or not? Whether any changes in the batting lineup and all those things. So India will have to answer quite a few questions. England, as with this moment, look a bit more settled, but you can't say anything. Uh, Granted, when two powerhouses collide, and we would like to have a discussion, live discussion with you guys. And so before we start the video, I would like to thank all those guys. I mean, we have gained, I think, 4 or 5 subscribers, if I'm not wrong, over the last 1 week or so. And there have been some good encouraging comments also from some new organic subscribers, which has been pretty much, I would say, motivating for us and would help us in driving forward. So thanks again, Abhishek.
Yeah, as you mentioned that we have got a positive response for in this couple of in the past week, let's say, for the shots we made on the Australia West Indies, the shots that like some of us made on the India England test first test matches. So it has been encouraging to see, and we expect the same to happen in the coming weeks. And yeah, we need your support to grow forward. And we are just 15 subscribers away for the 300 subscribers. So if you could, those who are new, if you could kindly subscribe and share with our friends and relatives, it would be very much helpful.
Yeah, surely. So, I mean, the main talk was definitely also around. There was a lot of talk also around will Jofra Archer make his comeback, but England, I think, have made it an effort to not add just Jofra Archer to the 11 this match, and I think his comeback will be at that same place where he made his Test debut 6 years back. And honestly speaking, I wouldn't say I was a lot surprised by the decision, because I think rushing Jofra straight away here doesn't make a lot of sense. I think he will be played maybe just 1 or 2 tests just to get a flavor of the red ball, and then his main assignment would be down under. I think that is the tournament from for which they are. That is the series for which they want Jofra Archer fit, and in Australia they will surely want Jofra, Tongue, Wood, all these guys fit and fine, because they have that skill set to explore in Australia. And so I think Jofra might come in Lords, but here they've gone with the same team. So I mean, what do you expect from England? I mean, again, same tactics and all. I mean, any inclusions that you were surprised with or something?
Is it, they are going with the same team, right?
Yeah, it's something.
Yeah, like see, consider the way they played last match. They chased some 371, like 350 runs on the last day, which is almost we say a Herculean task to chase, and that too with 5 wickets remaining. So I think the batting looks well settled. Yes, I have some reservations on their bowling lineup because the way India batters played them, like especially the top order, because I think they should be able would be able to make amends for that and uh, improve the bowling strength. But I think from batting side, as of now, they're looking much balanced, and if Indian bowlers don't devise a proper plan for for the batters, I think they will again wreak havoc. So short story, cut short. I think yeah, there will be no surprise that they are playing the same team, and I think they are looking for me again the favorites in this second test match.
Yeah. So coming to the main question, the Indian side, I think, I mean, the a lot of doubts were around will Jasprit Bumrah play or not. So, I mean, Gautam Gambhir has cleared it that they're still monitoring his workload and all. So I think we have got Shubhradeep here. So yeah, since Shubhadeep has also joined, so we were just having a discussion around will Jasprit Bumrah play, which has been the question for the last 1 week. Will Jasprit Bumrah play in Edgbaston, or will they keep him fit for Lords? So
From a,
Shubhadeep.
yeah, from a personal point of view, I want him to play without a doubt. Obviously, you always want him to play. He is
No,
the
everyone want him to play. I mean that is something different. But
yeah
will he be
he's
able to play, or should they play him?
They should play him. You don't want to go to Lords 2-0 down, especially when you have a break of
True.
9 days, which is enough for anyone to get refreshed. I mean, you play bilateral series in a 9-day break in different countries, so you stay at one place, and Headingley and Edgbaston is not a huge trip. It's a couple of hours of journey, so you can easily take a break. He has been freshen up. I think he bowled today, bowled lengthy couple of spells, but he didn't arrive in the afternoon session, which was the optional session where Kuldeep came. So I think that might be a bit of an indicator that maybe Kuldeep is playing tomorrow. I heard Nitish Kumar Reddy is also going through some healthy practice session, which is also suggesting that he's might be replacing Shardul Thakur. Uh, if Justin Bieber doesn't play, then I think they should retain both Siraj and Krishna. You don't want to go with a new bowling attack at a different place,
So
especially with the experience you
Arshdeep,
have.
Arshdeep not getting his cap.
That seems to be at the moment. That seems to be the point.
Yeah,
But
but if Kuldeep plays again, there lies a chance of risking the batting depth because
yeah,
then you don't have that number eight batting at number eight if Kuldeep and three proper
And
pacers play.
considering the tail batted in the last match, I think
yeah,
41
but
41 in the first and 30
See, I think
44.
Shardul
Yeah,
is most likely gonna sit out because he, I mean, he didn't do anything with the bat, and then with the ball, if you can't even bowl as a fourth pacer, there's no utility.
yeah. Shardul
I,
is
I
dropping.
don't I don't have any problem with the tail enders contribution. To be honest, I don't have any problem with it. If the tail enders can't bat, so be it. I mean, what is the mantra of a test success? Is always the West Indies, the Australia, the golden period of teams always believe you pick your five batters, you pick your five best bowlers, you pick your best wicketkeeper. If the wicketkeeper can bat, that's an extra bonus. So you pick your six best batsmen, including a wicketkeeper and five bowlers. If they don't add any runs, so be it. If the bowlers are in a situation to add the runs because the batters have failed, or even if I mean, I can't fathom the fact that most of them said that tailenders was one of the reasons. They were not the reason. They were maybe 5%, 3% reason behind Headingley defeat. The reason for India's defeat was their bowling in the fourth innings,
And the catching.
Catching.
and obviously the catching, which is always. I mean, I saw some of the reports from Resports. I mean, they were there in Edgbaston, and I saw that Shai Sudarshan has replaced Yashasvi Jaiswal at the gully position, which I found quite odd because there are so many players in the past who
In fact,
have dropped
Yashasvi wasn't
catches.
at gully in the second innings also. I think he dropped
Yeah,
that
that's
catch at
true.
square leg, deep square
Yeah,
leg ducket
I
catch.
mean, it's not the fact that you change someone and going to come and absolutely do a wonderful job. There's no guarantee of it.
Yes,
What's your
correct,
job is to
correct.
make sure that Yashasvi doesn't lose the charm. Fielding and batting is also very parallel. I mean, if you are dropping confidence in fielding, your batting will get affected, especially when it's just the start of the series. In a long series, 2 months, you are out of the home, out of your country, out of your loved ones, and that's put a lot of mental pressure on anyone, leave alone someone who is really young to the cricketing circuit. And test cricket in England is always a tough job. So I don't know. Maybe they are changing it. I mean, Karun Nair and KL Rahul was good. Karun Nair was exceptional. I think he doesn't drop any. Shubman is also a good fielder. I always say Shubman doesn't drop a lot. I think he has a 100% efficiency rate since 2024 in catching, which is quite rare among Indians. But yeah, Jaiswal needs to do something. I mean, some of the draw, especially that one you mentioned, that square leg, that was a dolly. That was a dolly. They didn't need to move, didn't need to go back, even didn't to dive, anything. It was just a dolly. It
Yeah,
dropped
and
it.
Jaspal's catching has sort of declined since that BGT tour. He was taking some blinders in the home series.
Specifically the Melbourne Test match when he dropped
Yeah, he
one and
dropped
Rohan was
Labuschagne twice,
so
I think. When Australia were
yeah, yeah,
91 for
yeah.
6, he dropped Labuschagne twice.
I mean, it's one thing that no one wants to mint it, obviously, but if you ask the bowler to go to take 20 wickets, it's always a tough job to take 20 wickets in test match. And with the bat catching, you're making it 25. So India had to pick. Let's think about it. How many catches they dropped? They dropped 7 wickets. And India lost the last test match by 5 wickets. Had they taken those 7 catches, could have been a different story altogether. I mean, there's no guarantee that those 7 catches were the reason or the only reason, but they are one of the part of the reasons, you must say. So yeah, and coming to the point of Arshdeep Singh, again from a personal point of view, I if I given a chance to play Arshdeep at Edgbaston and Lords, I'll always go with Lords because of the slope he has. We saw what happened between the WC final, the conditions that they had. Swing bowling was hard to play at this condition. And Edgbaston is dry, Edgbaston is flat. It's a dry, going to be full sunshine this summer. And no matter what, no matter how Prasidh Krishna has gone through in the last game, I have so much belief on that guy because of the height,
Fine.
because of the tip bounce he got on any surface. I have so much belief on Krishna, and I think he will fight. It's about finding the right length, and becomes really tough for someone who has played in 3 different countries, one game in 3 different countries, such a long length who don't actually understand when I go to play, wherever I play, I go to field. It takes time to understand the length and the speed of the delivery that I want to bowl. Sometimes it's not the same. At different grounds, different conditions, different dimensions, it's different. So I hope it does well. Siraj was exceptional in the last game, especially in the fifth morning. Didn't get the rewards he would have deserved, but that's how
Yes.
the cricket goes. Now, my only issue is if Bumrah is not playing, for say Bumrah is not playing, who is going to be the guidance? That's my only issue. Is who is going to guide this inexperienced bowling lineup? Because last game we saw whenever there was someone who is struggling, I mean Siraj was very frustrated as a fast bowler, going past the edges, not nicking it the batters. Bumrah was there putting an arm on his shoulders. Who is going to do that job? That job belongs to the captain. Will he be able to do that? That's my question. I mean, Shubman's captaincy was really poor in my understanding the last game. I don't know about you guys, but
Yeah,
I felt,
also,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. Also coming to the batting, I think the batting doesn't need any tinkers at this. Doesn't need to be tinkered about at this point of time. Sai and Karun were the only guys who didn't get runs, but I think that's not a big headache. If you have picked
Sai
Karun
looked
after
well
a
in the
comeback,
second innings. In the
mm,
third, he
I
looked
think
well.
Karun needs at least another
Yeah,
match, and so does Sai.
yeah, yeah.
Karun needs another match. I think Shai did well in the last game,
Sai did
especially
well in the second innings. Yeah.
Yeah,
my thing is I think Karun Nair is maybe playing this Edgbaston test. If he doesn't do well, this could turn out to be his last farewell test match. Because when you have you have to remember the Surprise is not in the squad. He's not in the squad, and Karun
yeah.
Nair five
Sarfaraz is
for his
not in
play.
the squad. There is Dhruv Judel. Even
Yeah,
Ravindra Jadeja is better suited when he bats at 5 or 6. He's not
that is
someone whom we want batting with the tail. Last match we
and
saw he
if
can't
you
exceed
want to
it.
play, if you want to play both Shardul and Nitish Kumar Reddy at Lords, you can drop Karun Nair, and you can promote Jadeja and play both Shardul and Nitish Kumar Reddy and have 5 fast bowlers and 1 spinner at Lords and have batting till 8. That you can also do if you want to drop Karun Nair. And if Sudarshan
Even
doesn't,
Sundar can bat at 6, so they have enough
yeah,
options at
yeah.
that number
And
6, and I think Karun has to deliver in one of the innings at Edgbaston to secure the
yeah,
place.
and if they don't want Sudarshan, then Karun can go at number 3 and Sudarshan can drop. And that's also another route you can go to. So I don't know. Maybe there are so many routes, but it's up to the captain and the coach especially. The thing is, as I mentioned, I didn't like Shubman's captain in the last game last week. I thought he was flat. I thought he was cool. I thought he was more reactive than being proactive. I thought some of the decisions, some of the field placements that it took was bizarre, quite a situation. I mean, I have seen so many captains. I've seen so many great captains, Graham Smith, Ricky Ponting, Virat. There was Alan Border in the past. I saw the videos. Um, maybe you can say AB in the test, maybe in the test matches. Uh, Even if I look back to the England side, Alistair Cook, I have never seen a captain standing at square like in the 12th over of a batting inning of a opponent's batting. Never ever. I mean, he was standing a square leg from Ben Duckett on, and who was it? Ollie Poper smashing them on the second day after Bumrah got out. Zach Crawley with his speech of delivery. He was standing a square leg just to basically throw the ball back to the bowler. That's not what you want to from a captain. You want a captain. Pat Cummins is a bowler. You have to remember it. Pat Cummins is a bowler. He bowls 5 over 6 over spell, still stand on mid on, doesn't take a break. Always have a discussion with the bowler. What's your plan? What are you going to do? What length you are bowling? I am bowling at this length. Just try something else. As a captain, your job is that. Your job is to be more proactive, more different theories, not standing at square leg for sure at 12th over. And also, I'm angry, not angry, but I'm not really happy with Jadeja's bowling in the fifth day. There
Yeah,
was rough. There was rough for the left-hander. We all sitting in my drawing room know, as a
Yeah, and
left-arm
it was
bowler.
almost his 15th or 16th over when he realized how to bowl into rough,
I mean,
how to
he is
use the
playing
rough.
his 70, 80 days, a veteran. He is the most experienced player in the Indian setup at the moment. I mean, I can't help believe it. Ravi Shastri in the com box were shouting, absolutely shouting that ball in the rough. There was
and
the rough.
Duckett I think scored 50 runs with the reverse sweep. I think
That is the
with
point. I mean, can't believe that no one went
was
to it. Neither it was Gambit, neither it was the skipper Gill, neither it was the keeper Pant, neither it was another veteran K. Raul, neither. No one went up to him and said, "Hey, mate, just try to bowl in the rough situation, rough area. See what happens for at least 3 overs. At least 2 overs. They're anyway getting the boundary. Even if they get boundary at the rough, that's well done. Well done, the batter. You at least have tried something. And once he tried the rub, look at what happened with Ben Stokes. The
Ben
delivery
Stokes.
got
Yeah.
that was out of
Yeah,
the rope. The dust come out of this of that kind of position.
yeah, correct. Yes, and Stokes. I mean, Stokes just didn't have enough defense, draft enough defense. That was something. I mean, which looked shocking from Stokes. Every ball he was trying to use the reverse sweep as sort of a defense.
England have also named their playing 11. I mean, they are
Yeah,
going
so
to.
we had that discussion. I mean, there was a talk that maybe Jofra would be making a comeback after 4 years, but I think Jofra is most likely gonna make that comeback at that place where he started his Test career
Yeah,
6 years
he
back.
should. I mean, you always ask someone to start. You don't want to start at advanced. It's a dry place. I mean, you don't.
And I think Jofra will maybe get 1 or 2 games just to get a flavor, and then his main assignment will be down under.
I didn't actually imagine the day he would play this series. I thought main series was that Ashes. I mean, I don't think the
And
plan was
down under,
that.
they will surely want a few guys full and fully fit and fine. Jofra, Wood,
Oh,
Braden Curse, and
yeah.
that even
Ollie Stone.
Josh Tongue, maybe. Even Josh Tongue. Ollie Stone.
Ollie Stone is another option.
Uh,
I
Gus
want that.
Atkinson will be there, but
Okay.
I don't know if he will be able to
What
exploit a lot in Australia.
what was his name? That tall guy who played against Sri Lanka.
Sam
Oval.
Cook.
No.
Okay, Josh Hull. Josh Hull.
Josh Hole, he's a tall guy. He can
Left
give
arm
us so
pacer.
much. I mean, they are starting at Optus Stadium. They're playing at Perth. Another point, Saptashi, which has started to grow among all the fraternity of England cricket, that Headingley is not hosting a Ashes Test match
Yeah.
2022. And how do you see it? I mean, Headingley and Ashes, and they are not. I mean, just bizarre. I mean, Trent Bridge is there. I think Kennington
No,
Oval is
I
there.
think 2015 also. 2015 did they have in Headingley?
Yeah, no,
I
no,
don't
no, they
remember.
don't have. 2015, they started at. They
In
started.
that first match, I think it was in Trent Bridge where Root got that 100. Or
No,
no,
Trent Bridge was 8
Trent
for
Bridge was
15.
8 for 15. Trent Bridge was 8 for 15.
They played Lords second. They played Kennington over third, and they
Lords and Oval, Australia won, I remember. The other
I
three,
think
England won.
Edgbaston. I think Edgbaston was. Let me just check. I think it was Edgbaston.
Okay, I'm just. Yeah, they started at Cardiff. They started at
Okay,
Sophia
yeah.
Gardens.
Sophia got
And
it.
they
That doesn't
started
really
at
hold
Sophia
so much.
Gardens, moved to Lords, then at Edgbaston, then Trent Bridge, that's Stuart Broad
Kennington
Spill, and then come back to Oval.
over. Well, that I mean, that's always London will always get two test matches in any summer
Yeah, but an Ashes
series.
test in Cardiff, that was a bit surprising. I mean, 17 and 19 and 23 didn't have one.
Yeah, I think the last time they actually stayed in Cardiff was 2009, 15, and now they will have back in
Oh,
2031. That's the point.
2013 also, I think. No, they had one in Stokes' home ground, Durham,
Yeah,
2013.
yeah. 2013, they had a Chesterless Street, which is and again a rare situation. You don't have test matches at those places. But yeah, the good thing is that they're playing. they're not playing it headingly, so that is a bit of a surprising factor. Um, yeah. So that is news as of now. There is another test match going on. I mean, so many test matches going on at a different position. I think there's one stat that I saw in Twitter is that since the start of the first Sri Lanka and Bangladesh test match at golf a couple of weeks ago, we don't have any day without a test match scheduled there. So we have
Yeah, so
Bangladesh
this
versus
was
Sri
like
Lanka.
2022 started. I think 2022 around
Yeah,
11th or 12th of January was the first day when there was no test
there's
match.
no test
The
match.
new
Yeah. They had Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, they had Zimbabwe, South Africa, they have West Indies and Australia, they have England, India, and that's it. 8 teams at four different regions are playing. Zimbabwe just been thrashed out by South Africa. Pretoria's got a fine century. Brevis got a fine half century. Carvin Box for the for sorry, got a century and a five for in test matches against Zimbabwe. Shane Williams, he got a century. That was a great test match at the Queen's Park Oval. Going to uh, the Caribbean, I thought Travis Head has been smacking everything. He is in a different flavor. And if I'm struggling, if I have to put my legs into the shoes of Travis, it is tough. It is tough. You always come to a test match and smack the bowlers every part of the ground. That's a tough, tough job, especially when you have this Shamar Joseph running in and picking those wickets. But my question is, after all those news that came out of Samar Joseph, with all the the news that came out in the Facebook and different,
Yeah,
we
yeah, and that will be a bit of a sad thing from West Indies perspective if something serious happens, because West Indies had somehow figured out a good pace quartet. If we look at it in that way, I mean, Jaden
Yeah,
Seals,
didn't see
there's
Samar Joseph. Yeah,
Shamar Joseph, Alzari Joseph, then I think Justin Greaves is the all bowling all rounder. Even Kemar Roach was there, but I think maybe Roach has played his last test. Not sure though.
that is another bizarre thing to me. I mean, Kemar Roach played the last
I
test match
think
for West
I think
Indies.
I was hearing the commentary and Carlos Brathwaite was saying about it in the first day.
Yeah, that is absolutely.
they,
When the squad came out, I think it was the West Indies selector who said that Roach is something we have to look beyond Roach. That my question. Why do you look beyond someone when you don't have someone who is already prepared? You have the three bowlers, Jaden Still, Azari Joseph, and Shamar Joseph. Who is the next one? Kemar Roach could have been made a huge difference had you gone with that. You could have he can bat. Kemar Roach can bat. He has a good 89 runs. Pakistan against Pakistan 2022, I think, played one
No,
great.
2021.
2021,
That series was
2021.
1-1.
Yeah, 21.
Kemar Roach and Seals, I think, won the match
Yeah,
at the end.
Yeah,
own the match, so he can bat properly. He can at least stay at the crease, not like India's tail ender. I mean, the selector said that we look to beyond Roach. I was absolutely flabbergasted because of the fact that Roach played a last test match against Pakistan in it was in Rawalpindi, maybe because Rawalpindi in the winter, and then he played a couple of games for study at the Oval in the county. Looked fit, bowled well. I saw some of the games in the YouTube live, and so he bowled right and length. He was expected to do well because he was in England. That means he was always using the Dukes celebrity. The two difference between the
Yes.
West Indies and England Dukes is that England uses uh, what should I say, less reddish red ball, and West Indies the ball they use is a lot of uh, it's it's a bit more red than the one they use in England. So he was using the Dukes a lot, and they dropped him, without any reason. There's no reason. He didn't do anything bad in the Test matches. They dropped him. He was about to reach 300 odd wickets. He was about to reach his 100 Test matches for West Indies,
I
and
think
they
Mitchell Stark is also nearing a landmark. 400 test wickets and 100 test matches. 100 will
wow.
be the third test match, can be his 100th test match if he plays both those matches.
Okay.
And I think he
So
is
he
10
got
wickets
98,
away.
right?
He is 10
He
wickets
got
away, if I'm not wrong. 10 or
98,
9.
999,
Okay,
391.
391. So he needs 9 more wickets to get to that 400.
Get the. I mean, they should play him. The third test match is in Jamaica, and it's a day-night test match. And day-night test match in Australia is something is a different story.
And I mean, Mitchell Stark loves day night test matches. So
So
400 is surely on the way.
there are two more topics that have been talked about in the last week. That is Ben Duckett. Is he the best all-format batter at the moment? I think it was. uh, what's his name, the former England captain, what's his name, Michael Vaughan. He put that on Twitter that Ben Tucker is perhaps the best all-format batter at the moment. And another point was, is Jadal Seals the best bowler, sorry, best top five bowler in the test matches at the moment? That's the two questions that have come out last week. Let's start with Ben Duckett. Is he the best all-format batter in the eyes of you guys? Because I don't see anyone play all-format like him. Yashasvi doesn't play T20s a lot. Uh,
Maybe Travis said.
Maybe Travis said. Who else? That's the question. Who else now at the moment?
See, I think Travis said can be because Yashasvi hasn't played ODI a lot, so can't say it in that way. I mean, he has the talent, but hasn't played. Travis said has proved himself in some big stages. Or T20 not yet got the chance, but ODI and Test has already proved himself in the big stages also.
I mean, T20s. If you think about that, he scored runs in that game against India.
India,
Yeah,
India.
And
so
it's
yeah, so I mean,
he did
he
his
has
best.
scored runs in the bilaterals also, and in the
Yeah,
IPL also he's done well. So I mean, T20 skills he has. There's no doubt about that.
surely. And another one that may come to mind is Harry Brook, but Harry Brook hasn't played a lot of T20 eyes, I'd say. And has he? Hasn't played a lot of T20, hasn't cracked it at all.
Rachin Ravindra, I think I have some doubt about his T20 skills at this moment, but yeah,
Maybe we can
ODI
call
and
him the
Test he has
best
performed.
all format opener at the moment, Ben Duckett. Can we?
Yeah, opener. I mean, it has to be Ben Duckett. Who else?
Because there's no one. I mean, his innings was great. I mean, you have to think about it. The innings he played,
Yeah,
150.
and it's not just about this innings, but I mean, ever since he's made his debut, is uh, and the fact that he plays in such a fashion, yet averages 40 plus in Test.
Do you think that his career got changed when Stokes and McCallum took over the reins? I mean, he was. I mean, I saw Ben Duckett first time in Test matches was against Bangladesh, 2016 in Dhaka.
Yeah, so
Oh,
yeah, so
all
he
those,
he had just graduated from the 2014 under 19 batch. He played
yeah,
in that team. I think Kuldeep was also playing the T20 World Cup,
yeah,
the under
one
19
that
World Cup. Markram and Rabada won it,
yeah, South Africa won that. So
and Ben Duckett played that, and he was the man of the match against India also in that tournament
mhm.
also.
Yes, and I also remember the 2016. I think I was young at that time, but I read a newspaper and it said that there was one delivery for Mehdi. That was Mehdi's debut series.
Yeah,
Mehdi's
yeah,
debut.
Mehdi one into was another shining star from that World Cup.
That is the point. That Mehdi, I think Mehdi won it for took 10 wickets in one of the games that Bangladesh beat in England for the very first time in Test matches. And Ben Duckett, I mean, was quoted by saying that there was one delivery from Mehdi that was short and wide. I thought of cracking it into the boundary, but because England was playing that, the old-fashioned Test matches, leave the ball, solid bat, show it. I tried to play the fancy, just a leave delivery, and the ball spun in, hit my leg stump. I should have played that ball like I play the T20s, and I think that skill
See, I
has
think
been
the fact
tested.
that in this baseball legend there is a lot of security also in I think
That
among the
is,
players, sense of
yeah,
security. I mean that's
and I
what
want
something Stokes and McCallum always preaches that if you want to play in that style, you need to have that security. I mean, and there's been a lot of talks about Oli Pope, Zach Crawley, all these guys. Joe Root, I agree, he's I mean that kind of a god regime, but I mean these guys, Zach Crawley, Oli Pope, even Ben Duckett, they've given within the security. You play the reverse sweep, you may get out the next day, but they won't say you anything. You again go and play the same shot next day.
you know what? After a long, long time, I'm thinking this Ashes in Australia is going to be interesting.
Yeah, so this
Most
was
time,
something which I tweeted on in last December also. And this is an Australian side which has some aging superstars.
aging superstars, can they survive the 5 Test matches? That's another point.
There's been some chinks in the Australian team. I mean, for the last 1 year, India couldn't exploit it. South Africa exploited well in that one-off
Yeah,
test.
there are some
I
wicket,
know. I
especially the
think
top order.
I
Please
think
think.
Boland will be a threat in Australian conditions. I think which
Yeah, I
they
mean the
need to
bowling is
figure it
superb,
out.
but again, there are some
Who
chinks.
else
That
they
batting
have?
particularly.
No, I'm
Who
talking about
else?
Boland. Boland would be a threat in
Yeah, I
those
mean the
conditions.
bowling is superb. Still, no doubt about that. Netherlands has
Yes.
said that he has intentions of playing another WTC final, anyways.
which is very interesting. But I thought this Ashes is going to be his last. I thought he maybe next
He has
year
stopped singing the song for the team, but he will keep play bowling spin.
he's given to Alex Carey. Alex Carey can be dropped. I mean, you should have given to someone who is not going to be undropped in the team.
No, I think Alex Carey will be kept. Who else do they have at this moment in keeping?
Mm,
Josh
Josh.
Inglis is just a starter at this point.
I mean,
And
they,
Alex Carey has played some good knocks for them in Test cricket, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, yeah, no doubt. But the question is, after a long time, I'm looking back and thinking, when was the last time I look at the squad, not the performance, but look at the squad and thought, geez, this Australian team doesn't look the same strong at home. I mean, 2011 they won it. England won it, did well, but the Australian team was different. That Australian team was they have Watson, Fiddle, Johnson, Stark. They have Lyon. They have Michael Clark. They have
Yes, that was
Warren,
the series where
Owen.
Cyril took a hat trick in his birthday on his birthday.
Yeah, that is Swan. I think Swan was the man who got his fourth one. This was survived, but yeah. Uh, but this England team, they can do it under Stokes, under McCullum. McCullum has some unfinished business as a QA in Australia. I mean, this Ashes is going to be seriously uh, a fantastic series. Starting at Perth, they're going to Gaba, the Melbourne,
Yeah,
Sydney.
and I think this is something which Stokes has wished for. I mean, India and Australia were two of his biggest projects. He failed in India, but Australia have to be. I think
You know,
he may even call it a day after Australia. Who knows? With the kind of injuries he's having these days.
that is interesting what you have made. Maybe, yeah, that could be. But I don't think you're going out after Australia. Surely,
Yeah, but all of a sudden, if he ends up winning both these series, then there lies a good chance of making it to the finals, and then he
double the
might
final,
continue.
yeah. And then he might maybe he's dropping at WTC final. Lords, what can be the best place to go out and take a retirement than Lords? I mean, what final if he gets qualified there? It's
Yeah, and
there.
also would be a sort of a fitting farewell maybe to Joe Root if he calls it a day after this WTC cycle. But
But
will he
yeah,
call it a day? Then comes those numbers. Will he cross that
no, no,
number
no. Go for
15,000
it.
odd?
Go for it. He will surely go for it. I mean, you have a. I mean, as any person, if you have a chance to beat Tendulkar, make sure you do it. Make sure you
Yeah, but
try.
so
Don't
did
get a.
Cook. But he didn't take a chance. He played first class, but stopped playing
Yeah.
internationals. Cook had a real chance.
No, I thought why Cook dropped his. Cook was different. He said that it's time. I think it's time because the captaincy soaked a lot of out of him. He was captain for a long, long time before giving it to Root, and that soaked a lot of pressure as a captain.
Yeah, and then last year I think he averaged around 18 or 20, if I'm not wrong, before that 100 at Oval.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
very good. Once you drop the captaincy, everything just put into the puzzle and scored a brilliant 100. I mean, before the series, before that game, you were struggling. Once he said that I'm going to retire, everything just changed. It's all about mental as a batter. So, yeah, I think Root is going after him. But the only thing is, the one I want to mention the point is who is in the bowling lineup for Australia after Cummins, Hazelwood, Stark. Let's say Boland is not in the your future because Boland is only 34, 33. He is not your future.
I think Sean Abbott is making it in and out, but he's also an oldie. He's also 32, I think.
Sean Everett. Okay,
Though actually
let's
you can say he's 8 or 9 years old because his birthday is on 29th February.
I mean, you can say Sean Everett. You can say Jai
And then
Richards.
there was that Doggett or something of that name. Brendan
Yeah,
Doggett something.
Brendan Dockett. Brendan Dockett is there. Lance Morris is there.
Lance
Jai
Morris
Rich.
is the young guy. Then there
Yeah,
was that guy who got a 5 in that pink ball ashes, Jai Richardson.
Guy
But
Richards
again, injury prone.
against Sri Lanka.
Michael Nazar is also
No, he
there.
got a 5 in that ashes match at
Okay,
Yeah,
where Labuschagne scored 100.
okay, okay,
yeah,
okay, okay.
really, really. Uh,
Then there was that guy from Brisbane Heat, Michael Nese.
Michael
But he's
Nazar
also
is.
oldie.
I don't have. They do. My issue is that they will eventually get a
Leave
skipper.
alone
No,
the bowling. Who will be the next generation openers for them? Uzi is already prolonging his career. It's time to call it.
I want to open with Josh Inglis. I genuinely want to open with Josh Inglis. I think,
Josh Inglis and Sam Constas.
yeah, go for it. Score
And I think
100.
Sam Constas was overtly defensive in West Indies. He didn't play
Yeah,
those shots he played against India.
I didn't get it. West Indies
Against
team
India,
is
he debuted in the MCG test, set the stage on fire, playing scoops, reverse scoops, and just with Bumrah, and then was so in his shell at West Indies.
yeah. The fact is that I think he is struggling with a mindset of whether to defend or to go up, bang, bang, bang. That is he's struggling with. And the same is struggle for West Indies entire team. They are also wondering whether they should, hold their excuse me, hold their line or just go bang, bang. That is another issue for them. West Indies
Another
catching
issue for
like
Australia
India.
is that Green conundrum now. Where is Green playing?
I
That
mean,
is a good question to ask.
Bob Webster has made a case for himself. He's now playing at six. There's Travis at five, Smith at four. So if Green has to play, he has to play at three, but that's not his usual position.
they dropped Marnus. That is another one. They dropped Marnus.
Yeah, this was the guy who was compared to Steve Smith a couple of years back.
I told
Their
you.
second best batter.
There is no comparison to Steve Smith in Test matches. No one. In the last what 15 years, nah, no comparison in Test matches. You see him score runs, spin, seam, fast bowling. He is exceptional against all. And my favorite century that he scored was in Pune. I mean, that was the third innings, cracker
Yeah.
Jaffer, and the way he scored that century. Wow, man, wow, that was a
Yeah,
thought.
also their Edgbaston won because of all that
Yeah,
mental aspect and his
yeah.
comeback. And Australia 122 for 8 from there.
Centuries in both innings. That was another thing. Century in the both innings on his return. That is a mental thing. And Steve Smith is a generation talent. Generation great in Test matches across era. In this era, for sure, without a doubt, I always say Steve Smith is ahead of Root. I mean, no matter what you will say, Root is there. Well done, but Steve Smith is a different beast. He is a different altogether. There's no competition. There's Steve Smith, there is Joe Root, there's a huge daylight, and then Virat and maybe Williamson. But yeah, okay. What else we can speak about now?
Yeah, I think maybe another 5-10 minutes. There's not a lot of comments, so we can
Yeah.
5-10 minutes and we can call it.
Mm,
Okay.
what else we can talk about South Africa's future? South Africa's future looked good, even though it was against Zimbabwe. I thought Brevis played well, Pretorius played well. Corbin Box is someone who is coming through the ranks for South Africa.
Yeah,
The,
Corbin Boss.
also, we talk about Australia's seamers. Who is going to be the next spinner? Because Nathan Lyon is going to drop. Who is going to? Todd Murphy is not a spinner.
Todd
No, no, no.
Murphy, Matt Kuhneman.
Kunaman, Kunaman is there.
Ah, no, no. They need a
If they want
solid.
that, is there any leggy whom they can bring?
Zampa,
Can we
Zampa.
Sangha?
Nah,
Can we
example.
Sangha?
Tanvi Sangha. This is the man who I thought when I saw him in the under 19. I think he played that one under 19 World Cup where that
Yeah, he
Jaiswal.
played the Shubman Gill World Cup only. Shubman Gill's World Cup only, 2018.
Jaiswal. I can't remember.
The Shubman Gill's one, Australia captain was Jason Sangha, but did Tanvi Sangha also play in that?
Okay, let me just check.
And there was one bald spinner, I think. That one, Lloyd Pope, who plays in
Yeah,
Adelaide Strikers now.
Lloyd look there still plays. He can be a good spinner. But I which under 19 World Cup. Yeah, he played the one in South Africa, so he was there. Australia's leading wicket taker, 6 wickets in 2 matches, claiming 15 in the six at an average of 11.46. Tanvi Sangha can also bat. That is a good point. He plays in Sydney
Okay.
Thunder. And because he is from NSW, I know he has that edge of getting into the Australian side,
Okay,
just
so
like
there
it
he is.
happened in Mumbai.
Right.
Just like it happens in if you are from Mumbai, Delhi, Karnataka, and Tamil Nadu, you are always in the discussion among the Indian setup.
Hmm.
Same with if you are from NSW, you are going to be in the discussion with the Australian team. So maybe he is going to be the one. Maybe I'm not sure, but it's going to be a huge gap because you didn't try anyone when Nathan Lyon was there. No one. Todd Murphy was there, was he was in and out. Kundeman was there in and out. There was Ashton Agar for a lot of time in and out. No one else then. Australia went with one spinner for a long, long time. They had O'Keefe, but that was all those one or
No,
two.
those were just spinners they needed to bring in subcontinent. But he
Okay,
did well. But I mean, they haven't played a long for long. They brought someone else also. I think when they went to Bangladesh in 2016. I don't remember who did they bring when they went to
they
Bangladesh in 2016 or 17.
19 they played Bangladesh, I guess.
Who did
Bangladesh
they
was
bring?
Australia
But
test team. I think they had Agar light or Maxwell was there.
okay, Ashton. Yeah, Maxwell had played some tests. I mean, he got that 100 in India also at Ranchi.
Hmm. There was Hilton Cartwright was there, Astronaut was there, Pat Cummins was there, Maxwell,
Uniform.
Agar.
UTD uniform. Someone from our team only, I think, has commented this. Who is UTD uniform?
Somebody. It's my. I think Ritik is there. Yeah,
Okay, so I think it's something about Abhishek.
yeah.
Yeah, well, before wrapping up, I think we're 40 minutes down, so we can wrap up. But before wrapping up, I just want to throw a question to both of you. Who are the top four?
Okay, Mitchell Swipson. I was forgetting the name. He played in
Okay,
Pakistan.
Swift and yeah, let's have one hit. But who is the top four for WTC top points table, and who is going to be the top two meeting at Lords of a 2 year cycle? Who are the four teams, and then two teams you are going to see?
Top two, I think it's a bit tough to predict 2 years down the line.
First the top four, and then cut those top two. Three, four, cut those three, four, and say top two.
Top four, I would say, tough one.
Put him in the spot.
So, what is Abhishek thinking?
Top four for the WTC.
Yeah,
Yeah.
WTC final this cycle.
Australia, India, South Africa, and maybe England or New Zealand. I will
I
go
would
with
say
New Zealand this
South
time.
Africa or England. I would say two out of South Africa, England, New Zealand, and Australia, India
No,
again. I
the
would
reason
pick.
I am not saying England because they have to play the 5 test matches against Australia, which they is the I'm suspecting about that one.
Yeah, so I mean South Africa also I'm a bit skeptical
I
because
am
they
not
have some
sure
tests.
because I have three subcontinent tour.
Yeah,
India,
that's what I was saying.
Pakistan.
India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh, and they have a home series against England, against whom
Do
they
you
lost both
reckon
of their last
South
home
Africa
series.
losing against Pakistan this time? I don't think so.
But if Pakistan ends up with those dusty pitches, South Africa may crumble down also. That
And
batting
against
unit is not one of the best.
and against
I think
Bangladesh,
I
yeah,
think we are going to have an Ashes final that year.
I mean, that will be surely something great, honestly
You
speaking.
have to
Ashes
remember
final.
they are playing the final in 2027. The same year in March, they will play the 150 years of celebration at the MCG. That year is, if I'm
Yeah.
not wrong, 2027. So they're playing
Yeah,
in
yeah,
March.
there will be the World Cup in South Africa later that year.
So I
yeah.
mean 2027. So they can have actually seven Ashes Test match that year. 150 March WC final and then five match Ashes series. They can have seven Test matches back to back because Australia England is playing March. Then the IPL will come. Then there will be the final WC final and straight away
Yeah,
they
yeah,
will
they
fight
will be having the Ashes at England also.
seven Test matches back to back. Australia England. Wow. Three different reasons. One series, one final, and one is a historic game. In that is
Yeah.
the year it was for. Hopefully, अगर मैं पहुंच जाऊँ ऑस्ट्रेलिया. Oh,
Yeah, also, I mean, you can't rule out New Zealand. I mean, they have the chance of making upsets, and
I mean,
let's see how they
who
do
they're
away
playing?
from home.
They are playing away from home is against Australia. Four away from home. They are
They,
going.
they play four against Australia, I think, this time. This is one of their longest series in last few years.
Yeah, I mean, when was the last time they played four Test matches? I have to check now because you said it. Test series. New
England Test series history. Okay, so
I normally like remember playing them 2 test matches at max. Normally,
three, two, two,
yeah,
three,
so two
two,
or
two, two, two.
two or three. I mean, that's the
three
The
most.
also
last
it's a
time,
rarity.
the last
Yeah,
time they played four
I
Test
can't
matches.
see them playing four, 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 four. Oh man, when did they play for? When did they
Yes,
play for? Oh, okay.
1999. 1999.
1999, they came in England, played a four-match series. It was 2-1, and they won it 2-1. So one game was drawn. England won one, and they won
And
two.
that is the only format series for them in the history, I guess. Is that? Oh no. Before that, it was 1984. They went to West Indies, went to the Caribbean, and then 1983, the three format series, and then one five match, that is 1971, and 1964 in India, one in 1958. That was 2 months ago. I mean, almost 60 years ago, 60, 70 years ago. That was 1958. Or they used to play a lot of four match, five match series in that time. But after what, 26 years, 26, 7 years later, they're going to play a four match test series. Wow. A team that always played two match series is going to make it a develop it, multiply it. Goodness.
Yeah, so they're
And
playing four at Australia, and I think where are their other series?
one in India for sure.
No, India is touring them.
No, no, India, there it's home series. I mean, away from home. I'm asking.
Okay, you are asking me the 2D ones. Okay, let me just check. WTC. They are going. Okay, New Zealand is going to Australia. They are going to play four. They are going to England for three, and then they are going to Pakistan for two.
Hmm.
Their home series is against India, West Indies, and Sri Lanka. With all of three, they can surely beat all of three. They can
Mm.
surely beat Pakistan away. They can beat England and Australia in. I mean, they are playing 7 games in Australia and England. They can surely win at least two of them, so they have a chance. I mean, you can't count New Zealand out for sure. It's a tough question, but I think Australia. I mean, Australia is a team that will surely be there. They are playing. They're playing whom they are playing. They're playing New Zealand home. They're playing England home, and who else? They're playing South Africa home. Sorry, no. Sorry. Bangladesh. Okay, the two matches in Bangladesh at home. That is surely they're gonna win. Uh, Away, South Africa. They should really defeat West Indies. They have defeated. The only tough series will be India away for Australia.
New Zealand whitewash India.
Who knows?
Who
Yeah,
knows?
In New Zealand, there is a high chance, I would say, because their fast bowling in those conditions, William O'Rourke,
Yes, they will
Jameson,
put on the fast bowling. I mean, Matt Henry,
Matt Henry is
Will
there.
Root,
Although
Kyle
Matt Henry is
Pennison,
aging,
Ben Sears.
Nathan
Then they
Smith,
have
Nathan Smith,
who they have another one. Who was
Nathan
that?
Smith, Nathan Smith.
Nathan Smith. And then also Mitch Sandner can bowl some.
Yeah,
Matt Henry.
yeah, Matt Henry.
Yeah, Matt Henry I said first.
But Matt
Matt Henry.
Henry age factor is also concerned for them because I think he's also in
No,
mid
no,
30s.
he is bowling very well at this point. I don't.
Yeah,
I think next two
I
years he
think
will bowl.
more than Saudi and Bold, they're gonna miss their left arm pacer
Wagner.
Wagner.
Neil Wagner.
He's the guy, subcontinent, flat pitch, reverse swing. Wagner can bowl those long spells with his short deliveries and 7 8 hour spell. That would be really good if you ask me. So what? Yeah, and there's no Saudi. In I mean, so many things will happen. India is playing West Indies at home after no Ashwin, no Virat, no Rohit, a home test match. I mean, uh, then once they will realize that they are playing, it's a new era because they lost a series at home. Now it's another cycle start for them.
Yes,
And
so West Indies last came in 2018. There was where Shardul debuted and he walked away after an injury. Then he came back in Gabba.
in Hyderabad, yes,
It was
that was
Prithvi Shaw's debut series. He scored hundreds in both matches, I think.
both matches or the first one,
One in
Rajkot.
first innings. Yeah,
Okay, he got a man
The
of the
one,
match also, I think, if I'm not wrong.
yeah,
I think he put 70
156.
around in the second innings. Yeah,
Can't believe that the same guy who scored that 50 in Wellington. That was Wimbledon surface. Wimbledon, you can play tennis on the
Yeah.
surface. That was that much green it was. But yeah, I mean, Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
So I mean, Prithvi Shaw has been that kind of a case gone down with time, but anyways,
Okay, I think we can now.
I think time to wrap up. So tomorrow the match starts, and Australia West Indies also starting in. It's
Winning the
starting
toss
in.
then? Winning the toss then?
Okay, that will be a good question. Win the toss and.
Bat.
Hmm,
Select.
Obviously, you
I would
bat
say
and
England will again say chase.
we'll chase.
So the question should have been if India wins the toss, what do
I
they
would
take?
I would say batting first only because fourth innings I don't see India chasing. I think even more than 250. I think under pressure.
Okay, so now the second T20I between the girls has started. India batting.
Is he playing? Harmanpreet, is he playing today?
Yeah, she's the captain.
Okay. Oh, sorry, is she? You see, the thing is, I'm thinking about from an England point of view. They're thinking it is the same ground as Western Ashes first ball Jack 24.
Oh,
Bumrah is not
yeah.
playing. Bumrah is not playing.
This
Some
was the same ground where they chased that Mammoth 378
yeah.
3 years back.
So just think about a scenario. Bumrah is not playing. They are playing with Siraj and Krishna. Siraj bowls the first half volley. Crawley smashes it into the ground for the four. And the cameras will the captain and the coach. Why is Bumrah is not playing? So England somehow if they can bowl out India for a low score and then put around 600, 500 runs on the board, they are 2-0 up because without Bumrah, has
See, I
not
think
been.
Kuldeep has to be that X factor. He has had he has created issues against England over the past also. I mean, if we see
If
some matches, yeah.
you're going to play two spinners, if you are going to play two spinners, Kuldeep has to be your second spinner. I mean, this is that much simple.
Without a doubt, there's absolutely no point playing both Ravi Jadeja and Washington.
Yeah, they are going to do it because Gambhir is a wide ball coach. He's a better wide ball coach, and then
Yeah, he did it in Australia
tactics.
also. I think in Sydney they played both Sundar and Jadeja. Even in Melbourne also, I think.
Yeah, that's a tactic. That's a tactic you use in wide balls. You want
Yeah,
some
because
over
in white
spinner.
ball you think you are getting a bit of batting, a bit of bowling, and you combine it to get double value.
Yes, but in test matches, that's no. I mean, Kuldeep plays in the last game in the rough. That was his rough
See,
thing.
I think Kuldeep also hasn't been used properly by India over the last few matches. Even in the New Zealand series, he played that first match, then he missed out the next two.
There's a bit of injury, but whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, we will again come up with shorts and all, and so please stay connected from tomorrow onwards. Cheers. Goodbye. Good night.